Hello everyone, my name is Ananbari Sharkar. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Till now I have been discussing things related to doing research, following certain process as far as doing research in the field of material science and things are concerned. I have been actually discussing these things for a long time now. So it has been almost almost 1.5 years now. The thing that I have been discussing is being an aspirant, PhD aspirant, doing research in the field of material science, and then following a certain process and in the direction of magnetic topology, dealing with topology, dealing with magnetism, combining these two and working with magnetic topological systems while keeping in mind the focus towards quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and things are concerned. In today's era, there are actually, for example, if you just in today's time, there are chat gpt, there are google bird. So these are different these are different techniques. These are different kind of a medium which you can use for your own benefits. Keeping that in mind, keeping these things in mind, doing research in the field of material science is something which is of utmost importance in recent times. Having said that, I have been actually making videos and uploading in YouTube channel. While I have been also carrying out my research activities, as I have done, as I have been mentioning. So having done my PhD from IIT Kanpur, followed by my postdoctoral work. And moving forward and doing more research. Taking research as a career, as I have been mentioning for a long time. I have been also working as a mental health enthusiast because taking care of your mental health, being in a right mental attitude while doing your work is something of utmost importance. I have been also mentioning that there are quite a few things which had happened to me. Irrespective of that, although that things were happening, as I have mentioned in some of my earlier videos, that I was mentioning, I was doing work, I was doing research work, I was actually writing my thesis. I was working on quite a few other projects, having collaboration and things are concerned. So meeting with the professors while discussing quite a few other work as well. The thing is, I have mentioned that being involved in the convocation process, meeting the directors, personal directors office, assistant registrar sir, dean of academic affairs office, dean of academic dean sir. So while involving in all this process, at the same time carrying out research activities and moving forward and publishing papers and things are concerned. So it's has been quite a good experience till now. So now the things is that I have been also working, as I've been mentioning, that as far as gaslighting, narcissist relation, concept of twin flame, concept of soulmate, imposter syndrome, and these things are concerned. So I have also mentioned in my earlier videos that if there are quite a few issues, for example, gaslighting, narcissist relation, and what kind of things can happen while you are suffering these kinds of gaslighting, narcissist relation, and things are concerned. So these things are there, and there are quite a few. I have been actually also mentioning that the process of writing thesis. So I will actually be highlighting or showing the full thesis today. I'll be discussing more about the thesis actually, and at the same time, not only my thesis, I would also like to mention that I'm fortunate enough to be recommended or to be guided or to be mentored by none other than the director at IIT Kanpur, Professor Abhay Karndikar himself. So while I was writing the thesis, while I was preparing the thesis, so the thesis of director sir helped me a lot as far as preparing my own thesis and things are concerned. I would like to mention also about some of the things about that thesis. Also, I will also show the thesis of Professor Abhay Karndikar as well. So it happened that Professor Abhay Karndikar was also a PhD student from IIT Kanpur itself. I myself also have completed my PhD from IIT Kanpur. While I was writing the thesis, as I have also mentioned in my earlier videos, while maintaining the originality of my research work, keeping the similarity index as low as possible, for example less than 5%, let's say, and then doing work and things are concerned. So I'll actually be showing the work by Professor Abhay Kandekar as well. Someone who have read the someone who have written the thesis long back in 1994 September, and then leaving the research that I mean having a visionary perspective, and someone who have like worked on certain field and is still working in the same kind of a field, working with telecommunication and things are concerned. So these things are of utmost importance. So getting I mean these things are very much of importance. So now the thing is, now getting recommended I mean from the same person is always I mean a good thing to have. So with that, I would now like to actually be discussing, I would like to discuss about the thesis for I mean now. As I have been mentioning, that I would like to show the full thesis view, of my thesis. So titled as First Principle Exploration of Magnetism and Topology. So this is having a certificate from the postgraduate section, also having a certificate from the Dean of Academic Affairs Office given by the Assistant Researcher. I mean, followed by my declaration and the synopsis, which was written back in January 2022. Uh, then actually acknowledgement, I would like to thank my PhD mentor, PhD supervisor and collaborators in doing my research work. I would like to thank my teachers and friends starting from my school days to IIT Kanpur. I would especially like to thank IIT Kanpur for providing me the state-of-art facilities to carry out my research activities, also to help me to learn a life lesson. I would also like to thank my fiance and family. From this from me and I'm very shortcut. I mean, having discussed this, so I've actually included two of the papers only, one from 2020, another from 2022. Others papers I have not included in this thesis. Uh, so I have this course like Introduction, Methodology, Density Functional Theory, Exploration of Magnetism within TFT, and Exploring Magnetic Topology within TFT. So exploring magnetism within TFT, I have started discussing these things, and followed by certain other discussion. I would quickly like to go to the bottom. So actually. So now going to the second chapter, so exploring magnetic topology within DFT and then followed by summary and things are concerned. While I am showing all those things, I would also like to show the thesis by Professor Abhay Karandikar, who is currently the director at IIT Kanpur. The title as Collision Resolution Algorithms for Finite User Blocked Random Access Channels. So it's from Professor Abhay Karandikar, written when he was a student, as a PhD student at IIT Kanpur back in September 1994. So again, this quote. So I mean, being recommended by the person who have this visionary perspective and who have written a thesis like this, and then leaving this, I mean, still doing the same kind of work is something which is great. I mean, and while I was preparing my thesis, so this thesis actually helped me a lot. So in preparing my work and how to proceed and things are concerned. At the same time, being mentored by someone like Professor Abhay Karandikar, who has experience in supervising 200 plus, more than 200 students, is something which is really great. So with that, I would like to say thank you. So, having discussed about the thesis work, I would like to mention that I mean things are happening in some way or the other, but it's always like as I have been already mentioning that something like moving ahead and all things are concerned. So at the same time, I would also like to mention that as I have been mentioning, or another thing that we are trying to make research as enjoyable as possible while moving ahead. So while making research as enjoyable as possible, taking care of the research environment I mean is something which is of utmost importance, especially let's say research environment in India is concerned. As far as doing research, having a positive surroundings, maintaining a student teacher relationship and things are concerned. So I mean mean, these things are there. I mean, if a student can perform a research, if a student is good at research, then irrespective of whether that person is belonging to a particular institute, for example, someone is belonging to IIT, someone is belonging to TIFR, IIC, ISER, or any other institute, given the talent and given the kind of enthusiasm, or given the time, ability to perform research work, students, irrespective of their institute, should be treated with dignity and respect, instead of misbehaving with them or mistreating with them in any way. So this is something which should not be tolerated. With that, I would like to say thank you. Stay tuned. I will be coming with more videos. Thank you.